Hi friends, this is Gail O'Neill, and I teach stamping. I hope you enjoy. We all have this problem, scraps galore. So what do you do with them? And we usually end up with a lot, although today I had to make some out of these, which is also what you do. We end up with these 1/4-inch little scraps. And then if you have these, you can make more to do the cards that I'm doing tonight. But I want to show you a few things. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to keep, let me see, I'll keep this one. And let's get rid of all this. So most of what I've done is with strips. So there's a lot you can do with them. You can weave them, which I just found this one. I never made it into a card. But this one, I did like a basket weave. So it's just a matter of weaving them like such. And it's, you know, if this one is under, the next one is over and under. And you just keep the old basket weaving. And you just keep going and pushing them down. And you'll eventually end up with this, and then you just glue it to a piece of cardstock. And this one I cut out with the squares or rectangles. So it got that nice edge also. So that's one thing you can do with them. And I'll be making that into a card. It just got like buried in everything. The other thing you can do is this is done on a piece of paper, but if you take, I have a piece of cardstock here, so if you take, and I want to make sure I'm in camera properly, so just take your tape runner, and that's easier than the wet glue, although I use wet glue for everything else. And then if you take, you can do it on an angle. So let's do this one on an angle. And you don't have to, whoops, you want to vary them. I'm just grabbing paper, but I don't want to waste it. Like I'll end up cutting this into something. And then you can take, you want to butt them up. But you can take your scissor, and because I'm at an angle, these are probably going to be too short, and I didn't put them to the edge, but you know, you can start over again. Guess maybe I won't be using this one, and that would be flat. So you get the idea. And then once that's done, you can either store them like this, you know, trim around your edges and put them in a file. But look at all these like balloons that I punched out of doing that. And these were all like real scraps. And then I even made this little butterfly. So you know how I have my little bins that I keep little things in. So these will go into that. So that's some things you can do. Then, but wait, there's more. Let me see. I'll show you a card. Okay, so this one, and I'll show you with this, I made triangles. And then I put them all around a piece of crash paper. So what I did is I cut them into, I think it was like 4-inch. And this is probably, I always end up with, 2-inch pieces left over. So then you just take it, well, there's 2 ways to do it if you want thinner or thicker. Find your center. So it's 2, so we're going to mark it at 1. So if we mark this at 1 inch, then we're going to run that to the corner. So from that mark there to that corner, we're going to cut. And then we're going to do that mark to the other corner, like that. So now you have one that's like a flag, and they're all going to come out the same size. And then you've got these little pieces. So you can start laying them down from wherever you want to start. You start laying and gluing. If you want to use the big ones like that, you can add them into there also. But you'll just go all the way around a piece of cardstock, and then you'll see how I trim when I do the other ones. This one I like doing because I like random. I'm trying to think which ones. Like this one, this is a very busy DSP. So I ended up, I had something else on it, like flowers, and I wasn't too crazy about it, but I sent it to Sue, and Sue went, flowers are too much. So what I ended up doing was taking a piece of vellum, and that kind of tones everything down, and then just simple circle, and then just embossing the thank you. So that's 2 cards. I'm going to start, I'll show you more of the other cards, but I want to show you the process of doing it. So if you look at other videos, and because I'm random, and I'll show you what it looks like when you do it, but you can start out by taking a ruler and getting the middle of your paper, and you just draw a pencil mark. It's going to all get covered up, corner to corner, and that X is going to be your center. So when you start putting your strips down, so say that's your center, you're going to butt it up to the corner. So you kind of get like that flag or pinwheel. It like would be in the center, and then you work your corners that way. So that's more of a pattern, and you would do all 4 colors that way, and then continue with those colors. Let me find the one I did that way. I don't want to show you them all yet. I think, no, this one I did random. I'm not even sure. It'll turn, oh, I know, it's this one. Okay. This one, which I haven't put together yet, but we're going to do it tonight. So this all, they were the same here, and then I did, you know, the blue. But when you work random, and I'm a very random person, so say I start right there. So, and you can either use wet glue or tape. So I'm just going to start right there. And then go that way. And I will tell you too, whoops, you do want to be all the way. Okay. So you want to go over the edge. If you want to be real neat, you can trim as you go. Tonight I'm not going to do it on the cutter, but I really like, once I'm done, I like to take this over to my cutter and make sure everything's smooth, that your scissor sometimes doesn't get it. It just doesn't understand. Okay, so here's all these. And I think I'm just going to stay with the greens and browns and stay away from, no, I'm going to put some blue in it because my other thing is blue. I'm going to stay away from the stripes though. All right, so that can go there. So you're using scraps, so see what fits. And I'm just going right now in a diagonal, but then I'm going to change. And I'm working on this mat because it won't, this afternoon I wasn't as neat, and I was working on that and I made a mess. Because everything sticks, and I was using liquid glue. So you just continue. All right, so I'm going to do one more this way, and then I'm going to change direction. Oy. I think I like using the liquid glue because you can butt it in easier. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is change direction. So I'm going to go this way. And just butt it. Oh, maybe I'll go a little bit that way. Because then I can still go that direction, or I can continue straight. It's all what you're in the mood to do. There's no right, there's no wrong. And I'm switching to the liquid glue. Yes, I am. Okay. So, let's do another dark one. Actually, I really like putting it on that better. And I'm going to rip it. Let's get another. Go away. I'm going to keep grabbing it. All right, you don't want to leave spaces like that. So if you're, and I think that was one that I hand cut, and that's why it did that. But if you start out with pieces that you've cut, you'll have a straight edge on both sides. Now if I wanted to put that there, or if, no, I'll turn it over. So I can do that side. Oh, I'm mad that I did that. Okay. Maybe my other thing will cover it up. And I don't exactly work neat. I was watching a demonstrator from the UK. I think it's Stamp with Joy. And she was so neat. Like every one that she put on, she cut. But it is easier to see if you turn it over. Oh. And if your eyes work, it helps. Okay, so we're a little bit neater. Don't throw these out right away because you can still use the small pieces. I'm getting a cold, folks. And I think I'll add another one of these. No, I don't want to go that way because that one's I wasn't as random on this one. Shocking. Okay. that one. And you're actually going to fill in every little... All right, which one do I want now? Let's see if that catches it this way. Still like a little corner. All right. Sometimes you have to fill in the teeniest little space, but it's no biggie. A couple of them, when there was a lot of white space, I was able to just say, no one will notice. But you get the idea, like whichever direction you want to go. It's all good. Good, that one's going to be complete. Is that a full one? No, it's a partial. Your scissor does get a little gunky from all the glue. Before I put it together, I'll try to trim it a little bit better. All right, I know there was an empty space right there. So we'll do another dark one. Or another, we'll do that one. Okay. There's one little spot I'm just going to ignore for now, but you would just glue, just take any little piece and get it into the corner if you're, missing a spot. But I've got more to show you. So let's put this together. See, it's going to annoy me that it's not totally straight. So usually, like, this is 5 by 3 3/4. So I would do it a little larger so then I can cut it down. Or even if you cut it a little bit smaller than the 5, it's just going to have a bigger border in the end. So we'll put that. And then I chose crumb cake. Now, do I want to put that up? I don't know. I don't know. All right, so we're going to take that because it's going to pick up the blue. And I almost didn't use the blue, and then I remembered that I cut that in blue. So we're going to put dimensionals on this piece. Because I have an idea from what I did on the other one. So I'm really putting more of it in the middle. Oh, Gail, you have to stamp it first. Let's see how that works out. Okay, if this works, it's going to be a miracle. Okay, you know how I say don't rock it? Well, we're going to rock it. Ta-da! Okay, so now I can pull those off. So we're going to have Thinking of You. Then I'm going to glue that piece down. And then I pre-stamped a bunch of these. So I'm going to put 1, 2, and okay. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue. They all fit. I don't have to trim them. And that's why I put more towards the center, so I'd be able to slide those in. I know you're dying to see all the other cards I did. When I thought I was dry, all of a sudden, I started coming out with cards like crazy. So all I did was reverse the colors. So I actually stamped 3 of each. So they're pretty simple cards, even though, you know, they have that technique in the background. Stay. Okay, so there is that one. Okay, on to, so this one that we did in a pattern, oh, there it is. All right, so this was that pattern one where you find the center and then work out from there. So we're going to put that together as well. Just easy peasy. So I don't know what happens when you're working on these and you end up with more scraps than what you started with. It's kind of funny. You just keep making these cards. Okay, so I'm going to take Shaded Spruce and we're going to say thank you very much. And I'm going to do it before I mount it this time. So that's just the layers from the rectangle. Love these. Love them, love them, love them. So I think I wanted to go that direction. And nothing fancy schmancy. I think, glue spot. I think we will put that up. So I will put this down. And most of these I used, they were all from the same pattern family, the same set. But, you know, when you have colors that are all similar, You can mix and match your papers. It's like not a biggie. What happened to all my dimensionals? So I just ordered some of those new storage for a customer who earned a spending spree with me. So she actually had two $50 spending sprees, and I ordered her a bunch of stuff that she picked out. So I can't wait to see them in person when they get here. So there's that card. It's pretty, right? I like the way this came out. Okay, so I have one more. And if you remember, this was that beautiful frosty paper from First Frost from the winter catalog. And I do think that's carrying over. And this was Merry Merlot, because there's just that little bit in the flower there. So we'll put this one together. Whoops. This frosted paper was so pretty. I guess I used a lot of the stitched rectangles today. They just worked. I have one little edge I gotta put a little bit more glue on. Okay, so then I took the Celebrate on shimmery paper and glued 3 of them together. So we're going to put that down there. I didn't do any insides of the cards today. But you know, I hardly ever do. It's a surprise when I do. I'm the Plain Jane Stamper. Should change my name to that. Okay, so there's the Celebrate. Now let's see. Do we want to put that up? Yeah, we do. Give it a little bit dimension. And then from the First Frost dies, I cut some of these branches in vellum. I'm pretty sure this has carried over. Otherwise, eat your heart out, I have it. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna put in a few of these. Not too many. Probably not as many as I cut, because I don't think it really needs too much. Maybe one there, one on each side. So the rule of 3 just went out the window because I'm putting 4 and none on the bottom. Okay, let's put the pin. I lost the pin. Ollie Ollie Outs and Free. Hopefully it'll turn up soon. But I'm going to bring everything back. Also, I didn't do any with squares, but you can sure as heck do, you know, squares and make more of a quilt rather than do all these. Oh, I didn't even show you some of the other ones. This one you saw, because we did it together. So this is with that birthday paper, and I put this border around it, and that I saw with Stamp with Joy, although I had to end up cutting extra off. Yeah, it didn't work like I wanted it to, but it looks okay. And then there's this one I did in the black and white. So I thought that was kind of fun. And then this one I added a piece, so I didn't do it all. Well, this is actually a scrap also, but I didn't do it all in strips, so it kind of broke it up. And then here's one for spring. Yay, happy spring. I love the bunny and the stitched shapes. And then this one is one that I showed you in the beginning, you know, taking and gluing your strips to some paper, and I put the air balloons through, and I just sponged the background just a little bit. So you can do a lot with scraps. I'll have to learn some more things, and I'm assuming squares would be really easy, but you can keep them all very simple and have fun with it. Use your scraps. So thanks for joining me tonight. I will be back again on Sunday, and I'll see you soon. I don't know what I'll be doing, but it'll be something. Thanks, Sandy. Hi, Marty and Linda. So good night. Thanks again.